Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Decentralized finance, also known as DeFi, has the potential to revolutionize the way that we do finance. Decentralized finance takes traditional financial applications and gives added benefits such as permissionless. Anyone from anywhere in the world can join. Transparent, it's open. Everyone can read what is going on. There's no hiding in the system. It's programmable. It's efficient, and there's a lot of liquidity in the market. So these traditional applications that DeFi has the potential to change are the industries such as payments, infrastructure, exchanges, liquidity, investing, insurance, credit, and lending. But at this moment in April of 2020, most of DeFi is focused on the credit and lending space. Over here, I'm on DeFiPulse.com, and it shows the amount of currency or the amount of value tied up in smart contracts. And at the moment, it's $784 million. And this varies depending on the price of Ethereum. At one point, it was over $1 billion. And most of this money is tied up in lending smart contracts. So there's a lot of benefit to DeFi, but in this video, we're going to go over the biggest risks of it. And let's jump right into it. Risk number one, and that would be errors or bugs in the smart contracts. When you're running DeFi applications, the money, the currency, the value, it's all tied up in these smart contracts. And these smart contracts are written by human beings. And of course, as we know, humans are very prone to error. And it's not like they're out there maliciously trying to steal or attack from people. It's all open source. When a smart contract is written that's going to tie up a currency or a value, everyone has the ability to read it. And as they're reading it, you have the option to spot out and see if there's an issue. And that's the thing about security. Whenever a company is programming or writing a software, they think it's secure, and it's only secure until the moment that it's not. It's just, simple. That's how it is. And in the past, we thought we had these smart contracts that were perfect with no errors, no bugs. But in the end, we saw that they were hacked and a lot of money was stolen. For example, we had the $30 million Ether hack on the Parity wallet. We had the $50 million DAO hack, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And we also recently had the $25 million fund hack from lendf.me. And they're very hard to spot. It's very hard to know who you're going to trust in this space. And that's why there's a lot of websites out there that give you results and rankings for protocols that you can trust. I have an example right here on the screen. It's defiscore.io, and you can go through different protocols, different projects, and see what their scores are. A protocol that scores or ranks very high in terms of trust and safety and reliability is a protocol known as Compound. So that's issue number one, a problem or bugs or errors in the smart contracts. The second problem is a collapse in the currency itself. If you're using, let's say, Litecoin or using Ethereum tied up in a smart contract, and let's say, for example, the smart contract locks up your currency for a week or maybe 2 weeks, and during that period, the currency collapses by 50%, by 60%, this could be a huge problem. Or what if the currency that is being used in these smart contracts has, for example, a 51% attack, and everything just falls apart from under or from beneath? And if you're worried about the fluctuations, you can say, then why don't we use stablecoins in these smart contracts? And we do have that option today. Many smart contracts or these DeFi platforms with credit and lending, they use the DAI stablecoin. You can also use other stablecoins such as Tether. But even though these don't fluctuate because they're stablecoins, the whole thing could collapse at any moment. For example, with Tether, we are still not sure today, not 100% sure, that Tether is fully backed by a dollar. What if we find out one day that it's not backed and all these contracts that have Tether in them just collapse because the value of Tether goes to zero? So these are the two biggest risks of DeFi. And until we improve on these risks, we won't see this value in DeFi contracts really grow by 10 or 20 times. You could make the case we're still at a very good point in time where we've reached around 1 billion tied up in contracts. But without these hacks, without these collapse in currencies or fluctuations, This number might be 10 billion, it might be 20 billion, and so on. And then the third risk is user error. And this doesn't have to do with the project themselves. The project could be perfect, but if the people using these smart contracts, using these applications, let's say lose their password, or maybe they know their password, but they're not very secure with keeping it private, they can get their wallets hacked. So those are the first three risks of DeFi. And then the fourth one, it's a risk, but it also might be a pro as well. And that's the problem of governance or centralization. Is there a party that might in the future have the power to change the contract or manipulate the contract? This would be a centralization issue. But the reason why it's not such a huge issue is because it's not like there is another alternative. In traditional centralized finance, it's 100% controlled by somebody. So it's not like if you're not happy with centralization in DeFi, you'll say, I'll just use centralized finance or traditional finance. It's not really, there's not an alternative. And also in the end of the day, centralization or some form of governance in a DeFi project can be beneficial because it lets a project update smart contracts as needed, or let's say for, as we mentioned, a security bug. This will allow them to quickly update and fix and patch up that security bug. So, is DeFi beneficial? Yes, but it seems to be more risky at the moment. But this depends where you live in the world. If you are in a first world country, DeFi is definitely very risky at the moment because we have alternatives in first world countries. We have bank accounts, we have companies we can trust, and we have stable currencies. But if you're in a third world country where you don't have a bank account, you don't have a trust in your government, and you have a currency that hyperinflates, DeFi might actually be a safe option for you. Because as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, one of the biggest benefits, powers of DeFi, decentralized finance, is that anyone in the world can join. I hope that you found value in today's video. If you like this content, go down below, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.